All right, a little extra incentive tonight, by the way. It's the third and final race of the Triple Truck Challenge, brought to you by CRAFTSMAN. So far, 2 different winners. Nick Sanchez picked up 50 grand. Corey Heim picked up 50 grand. If one of those 2 winners win tonight, they get an extra 100 grand. But Phil, the entire field is eligible to win $50,000.
You mean to tell me Clint Boyer can win $50,000 extra? Wow.
Can you imagine the beer he would buy with that? Go in that infield and throw a party, and then probably bus everybody down to downtown on Broadway. Well, Nick Sanchez, let's get an update. He's starting in the back today. Amanda?
Yeah, Jamie, I talked to him ahead of even qualifying before he hit the wall and they had to bring that backup track. Nick will start in the back. He talked to me about how at this point in the season, he's still racing for a chance at those regular season points. You know, he did kick off this year with that win at Daytona. You're going to see him go pretty heavy into the wall right there. That was the indication of why that backup truck did come out, and he is turning laps here from the back as we get this race started. But said he talked about the competition this season. You go back 1 week ago, or you go back to the last race, just with the finishes, you have to have perfect races, he said.
Absolutely. It'll be fun to watch Nick Sanchez come from the back. That team has had a lot of work, but Stuart Friesen leading the field to green. Grant Enfinger on the outside. Green flag is in the air. We're racing at Nashville. Trying to make it 3 and 4 wide behind him. Stuart Friesen slips up the track. There's Christian Eckes all over it to the point for the 19.
Yeah, we're definitely going to make it 3 wide. It didn't take long into the first turn. See Corey Heim down there below the 45 of Honeycutt trying to grab a spot.
Side by side all over the place. We heard the guys talking
trouble
about
already.
Trucks in the wall. The 5, Dean Thompson. Mason Massey involved. The 32, Brett Holmes.
Did you see Nick Sanchez look like he got through there unscathed? He was right in the middle of it.
Is that Timmy Hill, another one?
Yeah, there's Dean Thompson.
Lap number 2.
I don't see a lot of damage on Timmy Hill's truck. Remember, these are some of the trucks that had to go to the back for unapproved adjustments for various reasons. Timmy Hill was one of those trucks.
A lot of damage on the right side for Dean Thompson.
Yeah, I think what I'm really worried about is that right front wheel. Right front wheel looks like it's been in. Let's see if we can tell what happened. We're hearing maybe the 5 might have got run into from behind. And then
look at Nick Sanchez. Threads that needle.
Splits the defense right there and goes between the 5 and the 20.
Takanori Ogata in the 20 this week. A lot of damage on both sides for the 32.
They're just barely even up to full speed. Let's see if we can ride along with Ty Dillon. Remember, Ty was one of those trucks that had to go to the back as well. You see Sanchez right in front of Ty. You see those trucks get together right in front, and Ty just woes it down. He just stops it so he can drive through here at a leisurely pace. That's experience for you. See Dean Thompson turn around. I believe Dean might have had a little bit of help from behind, but a great job by Nick Sanchez.
Brett Holmes in for some fixes. 3 laps in from Nashville. Christian Eckes leads them. Welcome back to the Rackley Roofing 200, where we're under caution for the first time. A few truckers got together, got into the outside wall. Let's take a look back at how we got here.
Look at the right side of your screen. That's Dean Thompson right there. That's Mason Maggio, the 21 truck right behind him. You see him running to the back of him, and that's what starts this. And everybody behind just trying to take evasive action. Mason Massey goes way up high, gets into the outside wall. See Timmy Hill. He gets together with Akinori Ogata, and Nick Sanchez drives between two trucks with barely enough room to get there.
Let's hear from the 21.
Braked, and I just couldn't react enough. I mean, I was going to start. I started getting on the brakes, and the next thing you know, he just stopped a lot sooner than I expected. I don't know, dude. I don't know what happened, but I hate to see that. I'm not that kind of guy. But
You can tell there's a lot of contact there. Whole nose bashed in. You also saw Tanner Gray in the 15 had quite a bit of damage. Residual effect of this.
Yeah, there it is right there. You see the right front tire with concrete or the metal dust now, obviously because of the safer barrier and paint. Remember, he got into the wall during qualifying with just a little bit of a kiss on the right rear corner. Quite a bit more damage to the Dead End Tools Toyota for Tanner.
And you know, Phil, we see that right rear damage. That's the worst spot on Dean Thompson's truck that it could be damaged. It looked like a truck was high in front of Dean. Maybe he let off a little bit early, and that caused the contact from behind. So as we heard on the radio, nothing intentional, but that doesn't fix Dean's truck. And team owner David Gillen sitting on the truck and looked over at me and just shook his, sitting on the pit box and just shook his head and said, this is a bad start to the night. So, but two of his trucks involved in this, see if they can just rally throughout the evening.
Yeah, it's a tough break. The garage opened this morning. It makes for a very long day waiting for the race to start, and then we're on lap 2, and this happened.
Check the right side of your screen. We're going to see where Tanner Gray gets his damage. See, that's him up against the wall, I think, with Brett Holmes. And remember, he's one of those drivers that's above the cut line coming in here, just 28 points above the cut line. He certainly didn't need anything like this to happen, Amanda.
Yeah, you'll see Tanner exit pit road for the second time tonight. They made sure to get him out on that first one so that he would be ahead of the pace car so they could monitor the lap situation. He did come in for the little tape that you saw going in there on the rear of that truck. Seemingly purely cosmetic at this point, so could be a good news for the 15.
So they got Tanner Gray fixed up enough to get back out on track. Should be coming green this time, as Christian Eckes wasted no time jumping to the lead. Stuart Friesen slipped back to second. Grant Enfinger, Ty Majeski, and Lane Riggs, your top 5.
There's our guy, Boyer.
Back in the 11th spot, right where he qualified. Rackley War driver, 2 trucks in the field. It's kind of a home game for this team. They're not based in Charlotte like all the other teams. They're actually in Tennessee.
And Dawson is one of the owner's sons. And again, as I mentioned, won that big super late model race, his first super late model win at Milwaukee just a week or so ago.
Christian Eckes chooses the inside in the 19. Stuart Friesen in the outside. Green flag is in the air once again.
Let's see if we can have a little bit tamer first lap than we did after the initial start.
Lane Riggs giving an aggressive push to Grant Enfinger in the 9. You saw the 2 yellow trucks wiggling together.
Remember, air pressure's down on these trucks. It'll take a few laps to get the air pressure built back up. 3 wide though for Lane Riggs on the inside.
Ty Majeski on the top. The 9 of Enfinger backs out just a bit. Lane Riggs says, yeah, my dad he's won here 3 times. I'm coming through, look out.
I want me a guitar. Ty Majeski's going to side draft and pull that 38 truck back a little bit.
The 38 truck has been really solid here. Actually, I think it's 3 times. Zane Smith finished runner-up in this truck at this racetrack, so they know what they've got. 32, Brett Holmes goes around. Caution comes out for the 2nd time. That was one of those damaged race trucks from the first incident.
Yeah, even if he didn't have a flat tire, there may have been enough aero damage to that truck as to make it harder to drive. And you see Brett's got a lot of damage right now. This could be terminal for the 32 truck.
It's hurt this time.
Exactly.
You called it, Phil. 27-year-old from Munford, Alabama. Looks like his night may be done, Mikey.
Yeah, I can guarantee you one thing, Clint Boyer's eyes are wide open right now because I'm watching this action, 2 and 3 wide, side drafting as Phil called. There's so much going on early in this race, and you just got to survive. But that's easier said than done. He was way back in the pack. I think the truck was damaged, but the racing in front of him was so intense. We're going to see a lot more of this. We know how the truckers like to charge, and they're charging here in Nashville tonight.
No doubt. As Brett Holmes limps it around to pit road, we will step aside. Christian Eckes leads Stuart Friesen at Nashville. Welcome back to Nashville Superspeedway. A lot of racing action this weekend. The Hearst Snacks 200 ARCA Menard Series race coming at you Saturday evening from Berlin Raceway at 10 Eastern. And you see the 22, it's Frankie Muniz. Of course, known in Hollywood, but he's also a race car driver. We've covered him, Phil, a long
Full time last year in
That's
ARCA
right,
Menard
in the ARCA
Series.
Menard Series. He's doing a little bit of ARCA this year. He's doing a little Xfinity, and now he just announced he's doing a few of these truck races, Amanda.
Yeah, and Jamie, you look at his performance this season in the 5 races that he's been with Nice Motorsports. 4 of them he's finished in the top 10. I know there's a lot of expectations on Caden out of this camp. He qualified 8th today, currently running 6th. How's the progress so far for Caden?
Really good so far. I mean, Caden's done a really good job every time he's gotten in our truck, and I think tonight will be no different.
Thank you, Phil. Good luck.
Caden Honeycutt doing such a nice job. Good to see him back behind the wheel. So you see the choose rule inside, outside, how they chose here.
There's Boyer up in the 5th row, on the outside of the 5th row. Friesen and Eckes up front. Eckes has led, I think, every single race this year. Christian Eckes has led at least 1 lap.
They didn't have the choose back when Boyer was last in a truck back in 2016. A lot of things have changed. Heck, he even said he got in the simulator.
Yep, he said Brian should take inside outside.
So do you need some Dramamine so you don't get sick in that thing, old man?
flight simulators for young guys, I think, Jamie.
Well, that's what you hear the older generation of drivers say. It kind of makes their stomach upset, kind of get dizzy in that thing if you're not used to doing it. We're adding a lap here. So Stuart Friesen will restart on the outside. Christian Eckes on the inside with that great restart.
See a couple Fords back in the second row with Majeski and Lane Riggs. Ford still looking for their first win here in 2024.
There's Brett Holmes, just a mangled truck, involved in 2 incidents. This will end his night. Well, we mentioned that this is the Triple Truck Challenge, and the winners so far, Nick Sanchez at Charlotte, Victory Lane, held up that $50,000 bonus, and Corey Heim, our last race a month ago at St. Louis, he took home that $50,000. So a lot on the line for them.
There is $100,000 for these guys extra if they could win tonight. And as we talked about earlier, $50,000 to anybody that goes to Victory Lane.
Well, Sanchez says, if I have a shot at it, you guys got to stop wrecking. Let me run through the field, because he started in the back and he's still 32nd, so hasn't made up a lot of ground.
He hasn't really had time. Would we run maybe a couple overall green flag laps?
You see his truck, that does not look like the normal Nick Sanchez truck. Got in the outside wall in qualifying. The team only had 2 hours to pull out this backup truck. Didn't have a single decal on it.
I saw there. I mean, there was people from all their teams. They have 3 truck teams. Basically, they have it's a Rev Racing, but they have an agreement with Spire Motorsports. Some of the Spire Cup guys were in there helping get that truck ready for this race.
There's Bono Mannion as crew chief, and it's a hot day, so those boys, their tongues are wagging already. They had a lot of work cut out. Started on the pole here last year, so we know this is a good place for Nick Sanchez, but he just needs some green flag running here so he can make his way through the pack. Clint Boyer, that 11th spot. Christian Eckes, Stuart Friesen, Lane Riggs, and Ty Majeski. Fanning out 3 wide behind him once again.
Lane Riggs trying to move up the side of Stuart Friesen in a battle for second. That's Lane in the yellow truck.
They 3 and 4 wide back there mid-pack. Connor Jones, another one of the Thor Sport trucks, on the bottom, trying to make some hay on this restart.
Lane Riggs is going to grab that second spot.
Caden Honeycutt on the outside in the 45, part-time driver. 4 top 10 finishes and 5 starts this season. Amanda just talking about him, and Phil Gould.
He really has done an outstanding job. You see Corey Heim, the 11 truck, trying to give Grant Enfinger a little bit of a push by Honeycutt.
Corey Heim, that 11 truck, 4-time winner already this season. Time knows how to collect him.
Look at this scrum back here, Jamie. There's a pair of Rackley trucks running side by side. Dawson in the outside. That was Ty Dillon, the 25 on the inside. Lawless Allen, the number 33, lined up behind the 25 of Ty Dillon.
Guys, the temperature has dropped dramatically, and the sun is away from the racetrack, and now we've got enough of a rhythm here. We've run enough laps where I think these guys really are starting to feel what their trucks need, and when they get to that first stage break and come to pit road, those adjustments will be key to how they race into the night. The track will continue to change for another, I'd say, 30 minutes or so, and then should get pretty consistent.
I love that, trying to keep up with it. You know, what adjustments do we need later for when the track is cooler? You see the 46 there. Dawson Cram got the call yesterday to come over and take over the seat for this truck. That's Thad Moffitt that is out. He sent out a statement today saying he's very disappointed for himself and his sponsors, but he was very confident he will be back in the Craftsman Truck Series, maybe as early as Pocono, which is our next race.
Yeah, Dawson runs mostly full-time in the Xfinity Series for Johnny Davis. Got the call and really doing a nice job racing with Connor Jones at 66 out in front of Ty Dillon in the 25 truck. Here he is right there. Dawson came up through the ranks through Bandoleros, Legend Cars. There's a Rackley truck of Ty Dillon. As you mentioned, Jamie, a home game for this bunch. And Brought 2 trucks out here for Ty Dillon and Dawson Sutton.
Yeah, I talked to Ty Dillon's Rackley Roofing team, and they said they didn't get enough practice to get the setting, their heights right. The splitter was riding on the ground. They came in and adjusted it, and they're looking forward to seeing the result of that so they can get to the next stop and decide where we go from here, if you will.
A little bit of a wiggle by Dawson Cram. Just that tiny wiggle right there. You could see the momentum that Ty was able to gain on with Dawson. So that's all right. I'm going to try to go by on the apron. Try to get by the 66 of Connor Jones.
A couple of young, aggressive drivers right there. Racing all over the track. Nick Sanchez picked up 2 spots since this restart. Connor Jones in the 66, part-time driver. 18-year-old from Fredericksburg, Virginia.
I liked how Dawson did not drive down in the corner beside of Connor Jones. We see trucks on the inside get so free, and Wallace Allen's going to try to make it 3 wide getting down in turn 1.
He says, you guys are doing such a nice job just racing each other. Scoot over. I'm coming through. As Ty Dillon picks up another spot.
Another one of wiggles by the 46 of Dawson Cram. Probably needs to tighten that truck up a little bit. There's another Dawson. There's Dawson Sutton, the other Rackley truck. Right behind this battle.
Battle for 25th. I like those Rackley War trucks, how they have the opposite paint schemes. They look nice. It's easy to tell them apart. Let's get an update from Amanda.
The update is right there on the front of that truck. You can see that the front part is a little covered for Ty Majeski. The temperatures are rising. Let's listen.
I mean, you still have air getting to the radiator for sure, but it's not as efficient as it should be. Have to watch temperatures. Yeah, 226 and climbing, 227.
And hoping to get a little bit of help, maybe get up on the rear bumper and get rid of that debris. Maybe the 45, Caden Honeycutt, could work with him here. It's not necessarily a teammate, but maybe he'll let him go by, Phil, just to get rid of that debris and let those temperatures come down.
Looks like Majeski may be doing that right now. He doesn't want to lose all that many positions, but it's worth you losing 1 or 2 to get that debris off. These Ilmor engines will start detuning themselves once they get above 230 degrees, something like that. I don't think it's worked out quite that well. Maybe he can duck in behind Corey Heim.
That looks like it's Barabon. That's not going to come off easy if that's the case. It's like tape stuck to the grill.
Yeah, once that truck, if he could get up on the bumper of Corey Heim, then that would create a low pressure, and a lot of times that will just fall off.
Excuse me, coming through.
Bailey Curry, and then 41, I think he was
Ben
Rhodes' way. And Ben said, I'm coming through there. Moved Ben up a spot into the 15th position.
Bailey Curry's one I wanted to keep an eye on. Finished top 5 here last year. Had a good truck then. Christian Eckes continues to lead. Lane Riggs, 26 laps in from Nashville. Welcome back to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, racing from Nashville. Christian Eckes continues to lead. We mentioned Caden Honeycutt and the charge he was on. In third in the 45 truck. But as we were watching during break, Phil, it looked like there was some smoke coming from the 45. Now he remains out there as this great battle is happening here between Stuart Friesen and Corey Heim for the 4th spot.
Yeah, this is right behind Caden Honeycutt. We listened to a little bit of the radio communication from Caden Honeycutt during the commercial break. Oh, Corey Heim do a little bit of a slide job on Stuart Friesen to grab that 4th spot. And Caden Honeycutt told his crew chief Phil Gould that he was smelling gear oil, and that's not a good sign. But he still remains out there. Once he got by Stuart Friesen to grab that 3rd spot, he just flat drove away. He's almost 3 seconds ahead of Stuart Friesen now.
Hard to see it now, and he said all the gauges looked fine, but it was all about the gear oil that he smelled. So we'll keep an eye on that. But what a heartbreaker. You're running 3rd. You're told something's wrong. You know something's wrong. What do you do?
Well, the good news is the smoke has seemed to have dissipated, but the bad news is if it was gear oil, that means there's no more grease in the rear end.
And what a job this kid does when he gets behind the wheel of this 45 truck. I talked to him earlier today, and he said, I've got to go up front. I'm going to win this race. They've been good here. Every year they've been here. I want to make sure I don't disappoint. Another point, Christian Eckes. I talked to him twice today, Phil, and you know him as well as I do. He's never happy with his truck. But today he couldn't find anything wrong to say about it. He said, I think I got something I can race him with tonight. And obviously he's in a really good spot. And the 71 of Rajah Caruth, I just talked to Chad Walter, their crew chief. He said he didn't have a great restart. We saw how hectic and chaotic the restart was. He said he didn't have a good one, lost some spots, and now he just isn't handling like he was earlier. So they've got some decisions to make when they come to pit road in 11 laps, and I want to follow up on that and see what they do here.
How about that? Michael Waltrip, a little triple banger of information there. Appreciate that. Rajah Caruth back there in the 8th spot. How about Cliff Boyer back there in 10th? Let's listen.
I'm stuck. Getting really loose again. Is anybody making any hay up high?
No, sir. Everyone's still bottom feeding.
We heard him say he was getting loose again. That was his biggest complaint in practice and qualifying earlier. They wanted to tighten him up a bit, but as the track is cooling, it seems like that is coming back.
Yeah, and Brian Patty will make the adjustments to that truck or whatever. We know this is going to be the shortest run, 45 laps this first stage. We're inside about 10 laps, inside of 10 laps to go now in this stage. Then the next stage will be 50. But again, after the caution laps, essentially it's going to be about 45 green flag laps if that stage was to go green. But Clinton needs Brian to make a little bit of an adjustment, but he still remains up in the top 10. Actually just grabbed the 9th position just a few moments ago because the 45 is coming to pit road for Caden Honeycutt. Tough break. And again, if it was the gear oil, eventually there he is, probably is burned up the gear going to the garage area.
To the garage for Caden Honeycutt. Gives up 3rd spot with issues on that truck.
Tough break for the team essentially that won this race last year with Carson Hocevar.
High expectations, especially with that young man. We've talked about every time he gets in the truck, he's running top 10 and certainly had a great run going. Nice battle right here. Grant Enfinger, Stuart Friesen. These two have been battling each other for many years.
And remember, this is the cut line. Grant Enfinger right above the cut line, Stuart Friesen right below the cut line. And points are on the line here with just 7 laps to go in the stage.
52 of Friesen, 26 points back to the cut line, which, like you said, is the 9 of Grant Enfinger. There it is on the left side of your screen. Shuffled already at this point in the race from when we started the race. And you mentioned, Phil, 7 laps to go before the end of stage 1.
Remember we talked, Jamie, about the trouble that Tanner Gray had. Remember he came in this race 28 points above the cut line. You saw just a moment ago now below the cut line as they run on the racetrack with the trouble he's had so far.
It's Daniel Dye in the 43 running top 5. Riding on board the racetostopsuicide.com on board.
Yeah, not a surprise for Daniel Dye. Just what a breakout year for him. He's piling up top 10 finishes. We talk about just below the cut line, but really doing a solid job here his 2nd year in. going to be a good point stage for Daniel Dye here too, with just 5 to go in this stage.
Told that Brett Holmes was evaluated and released after his big hit. So Christian Eckes continues to lead. Lane Riggs, Corey Heim in third, Grant Enfinger fourth. Daniel Dye rounds out the top 5 with about 4.5 laps to go here in stage number 1.
That's Grant Enfinger. That is a battle for position right there. He was way behind Grant when we initially looked at him. You see Grant moved up the racetrack.
What a great view.
Good battle here with 4 laps to go. You know, Grant would dearly love to hold on to this spot. They were teammates last year at GMS, Daniel's first year in the series. I like the fact that Daniel's not going to push the issue. Early in the race here, as we see Nick Sanchez getting lapped. Obviously the backup truck not to his liking.
It is the backup truck for a reason. They didn't have any time on it. They got the decals put on and out he went, and Nick Sanchez just hasn't made up much ground. Back in 28th, you saw him go a lap down there. Raja Caruth battling for the 6th spot. Stuart Friesen.
Yeah, Stuart desperate, wanting to hold on to that position and that point here with just a couple laps to go.
Raja Caruth, one of those locked into the playoffs with that win in Las Vegas earlier in the season. See Dean Thompson as they go around him in the 5 truck involved in that first incident on lap number 2.
Yeah, Dean's a couple laps down. Here's another guy, Tanner Gray. We've documented his troubles here today. Tanner came in this race above the cut line. He's going to get lapped here before the end of the stage, but he may be able to hold on to get the free pass. If he can, not sure who's behind him. Looks like that's Spencer Boyd behind him. If he can hold Spencer Boyd off, then he will get the free pass as Daniel Dye goes after Grant Enfinger one more time.
Every position is a point at the end of these stages. Final lap. Battling tooth and nail to the green and white checkered. Christian Eckes picks up stage win number 1. Lane Riggs second. Corey Heim. The battle all the way down. It's going to be Grant Enfinger in 4th. Daniel Dye top 5. It's Christian Eckes' 4th stage win of 2024. We'll be back for pit stops from Nashville coming up next. Welcome back to NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, Rackley Roofing 200. What a gorgeous, gorgeous sunset. How about this battle to the finish line for stage number 1? Stuart Friesen in the 52, Raja Karuth. Almost looked like they touched there, all for that position, that one.
You don't think those points matter to these drivers? Certainly matters to that one right there, the 71 of Raja Karuth.
Michael.
Watch him skid to a stop there. He's got an opening coming into the pit, so he put it perfectly on the marks where he needed to be. I talked to Raja. I heard Raja on the radio, and he said, I want a wrench in this truck. Chad Walter said, do we just need to take a little air pressure? He said, no, I don't care where you put it, but let's put a wrench in the truck. As a stop seemed to be seamless, he goes away. Cody French went to Arizona State University and played football. He's a jock man. How did it go, bud? Did you feel good about the stop?
It was a good stop, yeah. A little meat on the bone, but pretty good. I think we gained some spots.
I love this. You're an athlete. You've been an athlete your whole life. You still get pumped up for this, right?
Yes, sir, yeah. That's what you got to bring to the table.
That's right. Good job. Amanda.
We just saw Christian Eckett's pit stop. He just got off. It was very clean start to finish. He was saying that his clutch pedal was super stiff at the end of that stage. I know that there were some adjustments for Christian Eckes as well, adjusting some of those tire pressures. And then for the 11 of Corey Heim, he said that the truck started pretty free, but was getting tight there towards the end. He did ask for a swing of adjustments for that 11. And then for the 98 of Ty Majeski, he was free starting off as well, said he could not go forward in the bad air, and it was tight towards the end of the run, guys.
I love that. Racing from day to night, all these adjustments. Track is changing, trucks are changing. Plenty more racing to come from Nashville. Stage number 2 coming up next. Welcome back to Nashville Superspeedway. 100 laps to go. Stage number 1 in the books. Almost going to drop the green flag on stage number 2, Phil.
Let's see how our man Clint Boyer's doing.
Let's do it.
Hey, Clint Boyer, this is the Fox booth. You got a copy, buddy? You got me, Clint. This is Phil and Jamie up in the booth.
Yeah, hang it. Give me just a second. All right, leave yourself room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bottom. Bottom.
You said it. You didn't have to.
All right, Phil. You got me?
Got you, buddy. Great job. Sorry we messed with you when you were trying to figure out which line you were going to be in. This choose is a little bit new to you, isn't it?
Yeah, I think we did it the last year I raced. I don't know. I screwed up coming out of the pits there and gave up a couple of positions. I think we were decent on the long run. Just need some track position that I just gave up more of. So now I got to try to dig ourselves out of the hole. But we'll see what happens here.
All right, you got it, buddy. We're proud of you. Keep going.
He's focused. So wants to make up those couple of spots that he lost on pit road. Keep your eye on that 7 truck.
A couple guys lost a bunch of spots. Stuart Friesen lost 12 spots, and Ty Majeski lost 13 spots with pit stops in excess of 25 seconds. See, Eckes chose the bottom. As Corey Heim to his outside.
Stuart Friesen been up there. Obviously started on the pole, top 5 all race so far. He's got his work cut out for him now. And here they are, the 2 guys we've talked about all season long. Christian Eckes, Corey Heim restarts on the front row. They fan out behind him. Truck goes sideways. Taylor Gray goes around and in the wall. Caution comes out for the 4th time.
Gosh, it seems like everybody that we've talked about around the bubble has had problems today. Taylor Gray, another one of those drivers above the cut line, a good comfortable 72 points.
What the hell was he thinking?
That's crew chief Jeff Hensley. We're hearing possibly that it was Ben Rhodes that made contact with Taylor Gray.
Taylor was in the 8th position on that restart, trying to get it restarted.
See, that is the 99 right behind the 17. That's Ben Rhodes. Looked like he was just trying to go to the outside and maybe misjudged it, caught that rear bumper of the 17 of Taylor Gray. A lot of damage to that truck. There's another view of it. I don't think Ben had any intentions of running into Taylor.
Go on board with Dawson Sutton.
Nice heads-up move by Dawson. You could see when that truck started spinning, Dawson immediately got off the throttle.
So both Gray brothers with a lot of damage in this race tonight. So 53 laps in, 97 laps to go here from Nashville as the 17 team. Jeff Hensley and company get ready for their drivers. He brings it down pit road right now, assess the damage.
Guys, you're talking about some heads-up driving. Watch the 66 of Connor Jones. Talked to him a little bit this morning. He said the pressure's on. I got to go. I don't know how many of these chances I'm going to get. And he took advantage of a great move here. As you see the truck spin, he was able to dive hard to the bottom, turns that truck hard right there in front of the yellow truck of Matt Crafton, and made that move. Let's see what Clint Boyer saw when all this went to pieces. Oh, I love that, right? You hear Boyer gas it up. He said, I got to get out of here. Let's go to Ben Rhodes' radio and see what he had to say about that mess.
I may have miscalculated that.
All good here.
Well,
Miscalculations are sometimes part of the game. You know, you just hope they wind up in your favor, and certainly Gray was a short end of that one.
this is the 3rd time today we've had an accident within the first 2 laps of the restart. So here we are under caution for the 4th time as Taylor Gray gets work on pit road. Christian Eckes, Corey Heim out front. Tomorrow, it's baseball night in America on Fox. Shohei Ohtani leads the Dodgers as they take on Jorge Soler and the rival Giants. Or the Rangers battle the Orioles. It all begins tomorrow, 7 Eastern on Fox. Under caution for the 4th time under this beautiful, beautiful sunset in Nashville, Tennessee. Taylor Gray into the wall hard, and you see them pushing his truck back to the garage.
Going to take a big hit in the points. Again, he came in here 72 points above the cut line, but not going to be a good one.
Track cleaning continues, but it's been another one of those nights so far for Christian Eckes, just so solid in the 19, and Corey Heim up there in 2nd. By the way, we haven't even mentioned it. Corey Heim going to run for 23:11 in the Cup race on Sunday, running the number 50. Cool deal. He's like the driver that does it all. He's there to do the sim for Legacy. He does sim for 23:11. He's in the Toyota pipeline. He's running all the truck races, and he does a great job. He's just one of those people that has high expectations and does things the right way.
And had some solid runs in Sam Hunt's Xfinity program as well. I think he had his best career finish.
3rd.
Yeah, a couple races ago.
Yeah, this is a name that you're going to hear for many years to come. Just wonder where he's going to go. How soon will he get moved up to the Cup Series? But it's nice on this schedule this weekend. He could focus just on trucks today. He'll get in the Cup car tomorrow for practice and qualifying, and then focus there on Sunday.
I was talking to him at Charlotte actually about the difference, because he had jumped in, and remember he'd driven for Eric Jones in a couple Cup races, and he said that the Cup cars drive so much different than the trucks. He said the trucks actually you race off the right rear. You drive off the right rear. He said the Cup cars you drive off the right front. So it's definitely a different technique, but as you mentioned, all the simulator time and the time he got to spend in Eric Jones's car is going to prepare him for that Cup race with Denny Hamlin's team, 23:11, and we know how solid that team is week in, week out.
Well, and I think it all helps him here, because we talk about this schedule. There's only 23 truck races as opposed to 36 races over on the Cup side. I think it's 36 races now. But, you know, we just had a month off. So some guys, you know, you have simulator, you do this, you do that, but other guys are out racing and they're getting that track time, that experience. And Daniel Dye, one of those, finished 10th in Xfinity at Iowa a couple of weeks ago. So valuable time.
Guys, this is a pretty cool angle. I'm up on the pit box for Raja Caruth. That's Chad Walter, and Chad's the brain central for this team. He makes all the decisions. When Raja said he wanted a wrench in the truck, Chad, the crew chief, decided exactly where he wanted it. But look at all the monitors and the information that they have, their engineers here as well, taking all this in and making calculated decisions on slight adjustments. They're not putting 4 rounds of wedge in it. They're not taking 2 pounds of air out. It's a half here, half there. That's how technical these things are, and that's how much information Chad has on his laptop and on the screens to make these decisions.
And Michael, as you know, we talk about SMT, and it's sports media technology. Those crew chiefs and engineers are able to look back real time almost and compare how Raja's doing compared to maybe the truck that might be faster than him, and then make some educated decisions after that data they look at.
And it just ramps up with every series. Xfinity has a little bit more access to that kind of information. And then on Sundays, people wouldn't believe the amount of information these crew chiefs and teams are digesting during the race, the number of engineers giving them information. As green flag is in the air once again, they stacked up Clint Boyer on the inside, 4 or 5 wide. They all keep it straight.
I think that was Chase Purdy, maybe that black truck right there. Now he's on the inside of that 3 wide that didn't go.
And caution is out for the 5th time. That's the 46. That's Dawson Cram.
Probably a chain reaction from whatever happened. I think it was Chase Purdy that didn't go when they restarted.
See some damage. The rear end of that race truck.
Yeah, from pit road here, I'm right on the start-finish line, and the leaders just didn't go. They waited a long time in the restart zone, and when that happens, Phil, they just start to back up, and then finally somebody doesn't get stopped in time. The first guy that I saw hit really hard was our buddy Boyer. He could have some problems with the front of that number 7 truck.
Well, we saw Boyer duck to the inside. It was hard to see from that angle if he did get any damage. Looks like he definitely got hit from behind.
See, there's Clint right there. That's the 77 of Purdy is right in front of him.
The accordion. Michael was dead on.
I think once Chase got into the truck behind that he was behind and Warrior got into him, then I think he probably missed a gear. Then we're going to ride along with Clint. He's going to get it back in the back of the 77 of Chase Purdy, and then Chase doesn't go. It's possible that Chase had his hand on the shifter as he was going from second to third, and when Clint hit him, it may have pulled that thing out of gear.
There's Dawson Sutton's on board. Just an accordion effect.
Yeah, Wallace Allen is the one that got into the back of Dawson Graham and turned him into the infield. Look at all the damage to the nose of the 7. What did Clint have to say about all this, I wonder?
I'd say we're done. Mother, what happened? It was Jimmy jacking the start bad.
They're not going to be done. I'm telling you. They're not going to be done.
Did he say he was Jimmy jacking the restart?
I think so.
So I heard Boyer say earlier today how nervous he was for this day, but he goes, you can bet when I put that helmet on, cinch that chin strap, I'm going to be a lunatic driver on the radio. And we wouldn't ask for anything less or expect anything less from Boyer.
Yeah, there's a lot of damage, but where you see the bottom where that orange tape is, that's where they take the air in. They may need to come in and tape the front of that hood. They don't want air to get under that hood and maybe lift that hood up and break the hood pins.
I didn't think I did anything wrong there, did you?
No, we got plowed from behind, man.
I was all the way off throttle and it just kept driving me in.
Yeah, they were playing games up front.
That's too bad. That is a teammate to Clint Boyer. So the Jimmy jacking apparently was playing games up front, Clint.
Yeah, I think that, as you mentioned, they didn't go up front, and then when Clint got in the back of the 77 of Chase Purdy, I'm not sure it didn't knock Chase's truck out of gear, because then he absolutely didn't go after that. I think Clint's going to come in. They're going to assess it. I think they'll just maybe tape that seam where the hood goes to the nose and get him back out there, Michael.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage, though, Phil. We know how important that front end is for the downforce. We talk about the right rear corner, but I can't see that he's going to be able to perform at the level he was because of that 90-degree angle that he's bashed that nose in. Hopefully the tape will hold it together, but it's still going to hurt the performance. That's what happens when they get out there and start Jimmy jacking around.
That Jimmy jack will do it every time.
So watch the front.
See, all it takes is one truck to start to go and then not go, whether he's anticipating the truck in front of him to go, and then it just piles up, and it gets, the farther back you go, the worse it is.
So Boyer's got all of his Barabon tape on the front end.
Hopefully that'll stay on there. As Michael said, it's definitely going to affect the aerodynamics and the balance of that truck. Clint is able to get back on the racetrack, stay on the lead lap.
Boyer's been preparing for this race for a few months now. As soon as he decided, yes, we'll do it, Brian Patty, his crew chief, said, we need to get you in this truck. Boyer said okay and started running every day, got in the best shape. Driver's shape. He never gets out of driver's shape, but took it seriously, and now he's fighting an uphill battle. Amanda.
Jeff Hensley on the radio to Taylor Gray before he got out said, hey, we had a great night until he got to us, meaning Ben Rhodes. And then Ben Rhodes said on his radio, yeah, I miscalculated that. Your thoughts?
Yeah, is what it is, right? I mean, can't do anything about it now. So, I don't know. I'm sure we'll have a conversation here before long, and it'll all work itself out.
It's a couple of bad races in a row for Taylor Gray. Started this season so strong, knocking off back-to-back top 5s and 10s. see him go around there on the restart. Our 4th incident on a restart this evening.
Yeah, Clinton's right there for this one too. We're riding along with him. You see the 99 of Ben Rhodes. And we heard, and man mentioned it, and we heard Ben on the radio say, hey, I misjudged that. And that happens. Sometimes they make mistakes. And there's no way that's not how Ben Rhodes races, that he's going to intentionally, try to take somebody out. But we're getting ready for another restart here. Hopefully we can get more than a couple laps in this one.
Cautions breed cautions.
Yes, they do.
64 laps in, 86 laps to go from Nashville this evening. Glad to have you joining us. Jamie Little with Phil Parsons, Michael Waltrip and Amanda Busick. Beautiful night tonight.
Corey Hyman's going to line up behind our leader, Christian Eckes. Lane Riggs will be to the outside of Christian for this restart.
First time we've seen that 38 truck restart from the front row. He's been there in top 4 from the start of the race. That sunset coming off of turn 4. All right, Christian Eckes, Lane Riggs on the outside, Corey Heim, Raja Caruth, Daniel Dye, Grant Enfinger back there in 6th. Green flag is in the air.
Well, we got to the start-finish line that time.
They fanned out, but it looks like everybody is straight in formation. Ben Rhodes in the 99, that bright orange truck, making his 200th career start in the Truck Series. He's one of those. Needs to make the most of it, maximize those points tonight.
Three wide mid-pack. Now let's make it 4 wide for a moment. Matt Crafton, that yellow truck on the outside. There's Stephen Parsons inside of Matt. There's Stuart Friesen going to grab a couple spots there.
Stephen Parsons with a great day today. Good qualifying effort. Good looking truck.
It's a good battle going right now with that 25 of Ty Dillon. See the 91 of Jack Wood is lined up in his outside. Here's the battle for the 4th spot. Excuse me, the 5th spot with Grant Enfinger and Daniel Dye.
These two can't shake each other. They've been side by side most of this race. There's Ben Rhodes trying to capitalize on their side-by-side battle.
Looks like Daniel's going to grab that spot. Move Daniel up to the 5th spot.
Clint Boyer, after his issues coming down pit road, back in the 23rd position.
Phil, you talked about the strong run by Daniel Dye. What these drivers do during their time off. Daniel took a flight solo in an airplane. He's a pilot now and enjoying that life. I said, "You going to be a pilot one day?" He said, "No, I'm going to be a race car driver that flies himself to and from the races."
That's pretty cool. There was a lot of action on track, Michael. When you open your microphone, I think they went 5 wide. Everybody held it together, but the 91 and Jack Wood making the most out of that situation. Picked up about 5 spots.
2 or 3 trucks were sideways, it looked like, when we jumped on that battle. There's Majeski. Remember, he had a bad pit stop at the end of that first stage, now trying to battle his way back.
Daniel Dye in the 43 truck, running 5th, never finished in the top 5. There it is right there. A gaggle of trucks.
It is definitely a gaggle. That's Bailey Curry, the 41. He gets sideways. The 13 gets sideways. Tyler Ankrum, that white and black truck, he got sideways.
Majeski's up there a couple feet off the wall.
Stefan's going to go down there and make it 5 wide.
Watch Jack Wood in the 91. Excuse me, guys. I'm going to just pick up these spots while you all figure it out. Amanda.
Look at the 91 of Jack Wood, who made a ton of moves on that restart. I was talking to Kevin Bellecourt earlier today, and he said that Jack has a ton of lap years. This is his 4th start at Nashville, and they feel really comfortable coming into this race, but said they just need a race that goes well. And while they think that they can win this race, Kevin said a top 5 would certainly feel like victory for that team.
Yeah, no doubt, Amanda. Best finish this season. Part-time, of course, finished 12th. He shares this truck with Zane Smith.
Yeah, he actually had his first top 10 finish of his career in a truck right here at Nashville. Now he's got Ty Majeski, that 98 truck that was so strong early on until that bad pit stop.
I like the racing stripes in that black and white truck. 91, simple.
Majeski's going to be able to make the pass. He's going to try to bring his
Connor Jones
teammate with him, and fortunately Connor missed Jack as he was losing the front end of that truck. There's another gaggle back here. That's Jake Garcia, that 13 on the inside. There's Ty Dillon, the 25. Tanner Gray, he's definitely improved his truck. Tanner Gray now up in the top 20 with all that damage from that earlier incident.
That's all back there for 16th, 17th, 18th positions. Not missing much up front. Nice battle here for the third position. 22 laps to go. Christian Eckes continues to lead. Corey Heim, little over a half a second. Lane Riggs, Raja Caruth, Daniel Dye, your top 5. To the inside, Caruth goes.
Remember, we talked about how good Raja was here last year. Qualified up in the top 3, was racing for the lead, actually took the lead. And that very lap he took the lead, he had an issue. I think it might have been a fuel pump issue, and it took him out of contention.
And he gets it, Raja Caruth, to the third position. 21 laps to go, stage number 2 from Nashville. The battle rages on for third. Welcome back to the Rackley Roofing 200 as Christian Eckes continues to lead. 60 laps led for the 19 team. Corey Heim just behind him. Raja Caruth, Daniel Dye, no changes there. Grant Enfinger back in the 5th spot. Let's get an update from Amanda.
Jamie, we took a look at that restart. Another driver that benefited from that is the 75 of Stephen Parsons. He is taking his 7th start of the season, and at hopsells.com truck, he is looking for another in to add to his resume this year. And if you go back a little bit in position to the 88 of Matt Crafton, you know, he's made every single playoff of his career going back to 2001. He is one of those bubble guys looking to add yet another top 10 to his season as well, but he hasn't had just one in the last 8 races, Jamie.
Yeah, certainly want to turn things around as the season continues to wind down. Matt Crafton, it's been 4 races in a row. He's finished 20th or worse. So certainly running a little bit better, running top 10 now. As Lane Riggs in the 38 continues to fall back, the handling of that truck going away as the track continues to cool. 52 of Stuart Friesen, who started on the pole but fell back after that bad pit stop. Let's listen into Lane Riggs.
Don't know if that's affecting anything, but there's just something on the splitter. All right, we got to run it all the way. You got to manage it. Don't out of it. I see what you're talking about. I can't tell from pictures. It looks like debris, but I don't know if we hit anything and it bent it up.
Yeah, they're talking about the splitter. That was the crew chief and Josh Williams, who's his spotter, talking about that. If that, you see that dark spot on the very front of that truck, if that has been up, then that will hurt the downforce as we see Stuart Friesen is able to get around him for the 7th position. So they'll take a look at that on that at the stage 2 break here. We're just 12 laps to go in this stage. We'll be able to come to pit road and take a look at that.
I'm just really impressed with the 52 of Stuart Friesen, who's running up here right ahead of Lane Riggs. And what they've been able to do, Jimmy Villeneuve comes over as crew chief this year. He said it's going to take till at least mid-season till we get things figured out. I get the trucks built the way I want. We've got the people in the right positions. And lately, I mean, 3 straight top 10 finishes. Finished 2nd in Charlotte. Comes out here and gets the pole. They have a bad pit stop, and now he's rallied all the way back up here. Continues to move forward as he's working on the 6th spot.
Yeah, we talked after 9 races that he hadn't had a top 10 yet this year, and then as you mentioned, reeled off 3 in a row, including a runner-up finish. So he has made major moves. Z Steffen trying to get underneath the 38 of Lane Riggs to try to take over the 8th spot. See, Lane's going to try to side draft him back.
Good looking truck for Stephen Parsons, one of the part-time drivers in the field. Amanda mentioned the effort that he's put in, 2 top 10 finishes this year. He's got 4 or 5 more races.
Yeah, they're hoping to add more, but at least 4 or 5 more races with pop cells.
And I know when he's not in that truck, he's at the racetrack doing whatever he can. He's spotting, he's carrying the helmet, whatever he needs to do to be out here behind the wheel.
Yeah, this battle with Lane Riggs has allowed the 88 of Matt Crafton to catch these two. There's Matt right there.
Frankie Muniz, the Hollywood superstar, trouble on pit road. Christian Eckes continues to lead here at Nashville. Nashville Superspeedway. It's been all Christian Eckes has led every lap of this race, but Corey Heim, the charge is on in the 11 truck. Wants to pick up stage number 2 for the win. And this battle on the right side, these two have been wrecking each other, and now Stephen Parsons goes around. The caution comes out for the 6th time.
Well, that was obviously intentional about the 38, but they've been, you can see all the battle scars on that truck. They've been together 2 or 3 times.
So when we were in break, this is the first incident between the two. You're both basically wrecked. They both save it.
Yeah, Stefan was trying to get behind the inside. We talk all the time about how loose that truck gets on the inside.
Then there's contact. And this is the 3rd incident that just sent Stephen Parsons around.
This is a situation where just put somebody in the wall. Be a lot of damage to that Pop Cells truck.
That's too bad. We were just telling this story about Stephen Parsons. Amanda told their story, and you know, he was doing a great job, had good qualifying effort, ran top 10. Now he's got a wrecked truck.
And that right rear corner that's so critical to the downforce in these trucks.
Looks like left rear damage for Lane Riggs. So they had slipped back out of the top 5. So Christian Eckes picks up stage win number 2 of the night.
He won Martinsville earlier this year when he swept the stages.
So what does that mean? Chances are looking good. The odds of Christian Eckes winning tonight, pretty good.
And the length of these stages, again, everyone's going to come down pit road now and put 4 tires on. Again, but you still have another set of tires laying. We saw last year Nick Sanchez put tires on essentially for a green-white checker finish. He went from 12th on the restart to 3rd in 1 lap. By the time they got back to the start-finish line, end up finishing 3rd in that race. So it's not out of the question that someone will put fresh tires on towards the end of this race, and they will have the opportunity to do that if the caution flag were to come out.
So Corey Heim in 2nd. Raja Karuth has held on to that 3rd spot. Daniel Dye and Grant Enfinger still your top 5, Michael.
Yeah, Phil, you mentioned an extra set of tires, but this would be called the money stop. You got to come down and execute. I've talked to several crew members, and they know every time they go over the wall, it's so hard to pass. We see it all night long. It's so critical to be able to get that ground on pit road. Ben Rhodes picked up 4 spots on his last pit stop. I talked to one of his crew guys, and he said, we're going to get 4 more the next time. These are athletes. I talked to one earlier, Cody French, and you know, they're in this game to win, and their job is just as important to them as anyone in this team.
Love highlighting those athletes on pit road, Michael. Well, Christian Eckes is the 2-time winner this season already. He's led them all. Can he hang on for win number 3 of the season? We'll find out. Pit stops coming up next. So the most recent caution that came out involved the 38 truck of Lane Riggs and Stephen Parsons got together. Parsons went around. NASCAR is now holding Lane Riggs for 2 laps on pit road for reckless driving. Meanwhile, Stephen Parsons, quite a bit of damage to that race truck, and I know it's something. Not a lot of consolation. I don't know what kind of truck he'll have. He was running top 10 tonight.
Yeah, that's such a critical point right there, the right rear corner, which is all bashed in on that truck. They're trying to make repairs now, Chris Carey and his guys, but it was just a tough break. He had a great run going, was running in the top 10. The 38 was losing some ground, and Stephen was trying to get by him, finally got by him, but not without some contact. I mean, Stephen got loose underneath him, and they got together, and then obviously the 38, you know, got into Stephen and turned him in the outside wall. Let's hear what the 38 said.
Well, that's what Seth told me to do with Martinsville. He said, just don't right hook them. You can do whatever you want with their bumper. Just don't right hook them.
Well, whatever they did to the rear bumper did wreck them. So anyway.
Everybody makes their way down pit road.
Stuart Friesen comes in, made his way back to the 7th position. He lost several spots on pit road during that first pit stop. You see Ben Rhodes. Ben Rhodes finished that 2nd stage in the 6th spot, and Raja Karuth 3rd spot. 4 tires for all these trucks. Amanda.
You're taking a look at the 11 of Corey Heim. A lot of drivers in the garages say that this is the exact place where Corey Heim makes up a lot of positions on them right here, the execution of the pit stops. He said that he was a little too tight to his team. Free me up a little more so I can get off the center. The entry is fine on this truck, and just a little update on Christian Eckes. Said that the truck was a little tight as well. They had 4 tires and some adjustments. As Michael said, this is the money stop, and man, we have Christian Eckes and Corey Heim right there for stage 3.
About Corey Heim, 7 spots lost on pit road.
Well, you saw the pit crew member with Corey Heim kind of looked up. I don't know if they told him to wait on fuel a little bit longer or what that was. I don't know why they would, but he slips back a little bit. Corey Heim will have some work cut out for him. Christian Eckes, though, gets out ahead. Stage number 3 coming up next. It's been an eventful one so far, and we welcome you back to the Rackley Roofing 200 live from Nashville. Michael.
I'm with Chad Walt. Chad, great pit stop again. I heard you and Raja say no tools in the truck this time, just air pressure.
Yeah,
you really have a fast truck.
Our Hendrick pit crew, HendrickCars.com pit crew has been doing a really good job. They've stepped up the pace for us when we need it the most. Track position is everything, so anything we can do on our side to help the pit process and get out early or first on the front row is going to help everything. So hopefully we can seal a deal.
Go get them, buddy. Are you able to look at your pit stop on your camera there and see how you did?
Yes, sir. We did pretty good. Gained one spot. Just main thing is trying to keep our foot on the gas.
Love it. Good job, guys.
Thanks, Michael. Great job by that team for Raja Karuth in the 71. Got the job done. There it is. They wear those cameras, and then after every stop, they play it back. They'll put it on the actual pit box so that everybody can see. And a lot of times they know if something didn't get tight, and they can tell the crew chief, they could tell the driver. So a lot of communication, a lot of video there. So I mentioned that the 11 was a little slow. We weren't sure if maybe they were waiting on fuel, but something else happened here, Phil.
Yeah, they're going to have trouble with the left front. You can see they're on the right side now. They're going to come around, a little bit of a chassis adjustment there. The left rear is going to go well. You see the left front, he gets all the lug nuts off, but all the lug nuts weren't quite off. You see him waiting now. The rear changer is done, and then they got ready to go, and I think Corey Hine.
Sorry guys, my foot completely slipped off of it. Sorry, but shake it off here. Be fine. Be fine. Get all you can be at the beginning here.
Foot slipped off the clutch and stalled the truck right there, so it's got him back restarting back in the 5th row on the inside.
So once again, Christian Eckes will lead the field here. But Raja Karuth restarting on the front row. Look at Daniel Dye right up there. Ben Rhodes in that bright orange truck on the outside. They fan out 3 and 4 wide behind him. Christian Eckes doing what he's been doing all night, Phil, being perfect.
How about Ben Rose to the outside, making a move? Going to grab that 3rd spot, at least for the moment.
Denying Grant Enfinger was battling up there in the top 5 a lot of this night. You see he's way back.
Michael talked about the money stop. That's not the stop that you want to have trouble. You have an early stop, you're able to overcome it a lot of times. You see Corey Hine, an aggressive move to the inside of Ankrum. That's Corey, the 11 truck.
See Stuart Friesen in the 52 right there. Blue and white, talk about overcoming a bad stop. He had one to start the race. Actually, it was stage number 1. He was able to fight back. His truck has been that good. Back up into the top 5 for Friesen.
Yeah, his guys had a good stop this last time. That has him up in the top 5 as Raja gets back by Ben Rhodes to grab that 3rd spot back.
Ben Rhodes got a new crew chief a few races ago, and it seems like it was the ticket. That's what they needed, a little bit of change, a little bit of momentum in their favor. Finished 5th and 7th the last 2 times out, and now here he finds himself running 4.
Oh man, Clint Boyer for a moment. This is Dawson Sutton, the Rackley roofing truck. Wallace Allen, the 33 in front of him. There's the 38 of Riggs. Chase Purdy, the 77. See Nick Sanchez, the 2 truck. He's still up in the top 20. That truck, backup truck, has not been near as good as his primary was.
See so many wrecked race trucks, a lot of damage on many of them. 6 cautions tonight for 37 laps. Our boy Clint Boyer, one of those with significant damage when they stacked up on a restart.
Clint was able to get by Majeski. That puts Clint up to the 16th position. That's Butterbean Queen. We haven't talked a lot about Butterbean. Great debut at Wilkesboro, finished 4th.
That's in his wheelhouse. The short track, put on a show, back to front twice, and all of his fans there, ended up 4th. They said, all right, we like you. Let's give you another couple chances. So here he is running on this 1 1/3 concrete racetrack.
Having a solid night, running right now in the top 15 and a very, very much a stacked field. How about Matt Crafton? Going to try to grab a spot from the 52 of Friesen. Corey Hine was able to get by Stewart just a moment ago. There's Corey Hine right there, the red and black number 11. Remember, both these drivers here down below the cut line that we've talked about so much. Some of those drivers that were above the cut line coming in here having some problems. Taylor Gray, for one, out of the race already.
How about Tanner Gray? wrecked race truck. He actually had damage in qualifying, then damage earlier in this race. Tanner up to the 9th spot.
Amazing the repairs that they have made to that truck. That truck was hurt, and Tanner Gray doing a great job, and his crew doing a nice job repairing that truck. There he is right there, that 15 truck, and Matt Mills up in the 10th spot in that 42 truck.
See the top 5 fastest trucks on that lap. Corey Heim 4th, of course Christian Eckes in that clean air, loving what he's seeing. Matt Crafton goes wide. Friesen takes over that 7th spot.
Tanner Gray gets by. Matt Mills trying to get by as well. The big loss down there for Matt Crafton, lost 3 positions in that one corner.
Jake Garcia on the outside of Grant Enfinger.
Grant was a big loser that time on pit road.
Making up some ground now, up to the 12th spot for the 9.
Jack Wood going to try to make the move around the outside. That white and black number 91 truck. 20th as Grant Enfinger came off of pit road. Fighting his way back now up in the top 15. This is how the 88 is going to end up losing 3 positions. You see him down on the inside. Actually just tried to beat Stewart into the corner. Couldn't quite hold it. And Stewart gets back by, as well as Tanner Gray and the 42 of Matt Mills.
Daniel Dye in the 43 into the 2nd spot right now. They have been so good today. Looking for his first career top 5 finish.
Jack Wood trying to get by the 13th of Jake Garcia. Jack able to hold that truck right on the bottom. Grant Enfinger may have a little bit of momentum if these trucks stay side by side. Looks like he's going to jump to the outside and try to give the 13 of Garcia a push.
Connor Jones back there in the 66, trying to find a hole, trying to find a way around. Jack Wood, part-time in the truck series. He's running full-time in the ARCA Menards West. 3rd in the points right now. Just had a really good showing in Sonoma. He's a California kid. That's his home track. Good to have him back. He's having a nice night tonight. And right as we're talking about him, at 91, and Jack Wood goes around. He brings it down pit road. The caution is out for the 7th time.
See, no damage to that truck. He was able to hold it off the wall. I'm sure more than likely he was side by side with another truck, whether there was a little contact or maybe just lost some air off the spoiler. Let's see if we can see what happened here, Jamie. The 66 of Connor Jones is going to move to the inside. He's going to make contact with that left rear corner. Nice job by Jack to get that truck down off the racetrack.
Boyer just squeezes by as well.
There's a contact right there.
The 7th truck. Woo.
Yeah, battle for the 13th position. Ty Dillon saw the 25 truck. You see Jack. So that way you hear Ty out of the throttle when Jack gets off the throttle.
And here's that moment.
Racetrack. Here's Clint. There's a contact right there.
Woo. That's where it was close.
And you see right behind Clint, Jack goes off the racetrack. So very fortunate for Clint.
.37 laps to go from Nashville Superspeedway. Stay with us as Christian Eckes continues to lead. lost a panel.
Yeah, that must win. Monday must win for USA to make the round of 16, so we'll be pulling hard for them.
That comes up July 1st at 9 Eastern. Michael.
What about the charge of Ben Rhodes up inside the top 5, started outside the top 20, and this pit crew, they have been on it today. I talked to Jabari Carney. He's a jackman. He said we picked up 4 spots the first stop and 2 the second stop. It's all about teamwork. Doug Randolph just told me that he feels like the engine could be a little bit off. He doesn't feel like it gains any momentum down the straightaway, but their handling is dead on, and Ben is doing a great job. They've really moved forward.
They just needed to hang on for 34 more laps, Michael. So we showed Stuart Friesen had a great run going up, battling in the top 5, came back, overcame that bad stop. Something just happened, Mike?
Yeah, several trucks came down pit road on this most recent caution. Stewart was one of those, but huge break. He had a loose left rear tire, so he was able to get that off. Now, obviously, a little fresher tires, probably not enough laps to matter, but nonetheless, they got that loose left rear off. That could have necessitated a green flag pit stop had the caution not come out.
So if you're just joining us, it's been all about Christian Eckes. He won stage 1, stage 2. He's led all 116 laps. They've been perfect. You know the last time, Phil, that somebody led every lap to win?
It was a long time ago.
Back in 2012, Timothy Peters.
Bristol, I believe.
Can't believe it's been that long. I mean, I would think that Christian or Corey Heim have knocked off one of those races, but nope. Christian Eckes is trying to get his first one tonight. He wants to be perfect, lead every lap. As Michael talked about, we all kind of chuckled when he interviewed him earlier. He was smiling. He was happy with this race truck. And he knew what he had. I mean, that truck has been on it, no matter racing in the heat at 90 degrees, under full sun, to under the lights now, and it's cooled off quite a bit.
Such an important restart as we see the 43 of Daniel Dye will restart on the front row. Last year, Carson Hocebar was able to wrestle the lead away on a restart from second and was able to hold on and control the race to get that win.
And Phil, I'm going to say something crazy, okay? We've talked about the start and the restart all day long. Can they get more intense? Can we go 3 and 4 wide and survive? Because you know these drivers are going to be more and more desperate and push the issue more and more. This could be pretty wild here.
Yeah, the early part of this race should have been fairly tame, and we had 4 times that we had a wreck inside of 2 laps of a restart.
7 cautions tonight for 42 laps. Christian Eckes, Daniel Dye restarting on the front row, Raja Caruth and Ben Rhodes behind them. Green flag in the air once again. 32 laps to go from Nashville Superspeedway.
Eckes is going to hold serve.
They're bunched up behind him, 2 and 3 wide, but very clean. One of the best restarts we've seen tonight.
3 wide back here.
Stuart Friesen back there battling with Clint Boyer, 17th and 18th.
Friesen on the inside of Nick Sanchez, actually lost a little bit of momentum. Here comes Corey Heim making it 3 wide, trying to grab 3rd.
Raja Caruth slipping back just a little bit. Ben Rhodes doesn't want to give up. Corey Heim.
How about Tyler Ankrum? Sorry, Jamie, excuse me. Tyler Ankrum having a great run. He's had so much bad luck here lately. Look at him battling up there inside of the 99 of Ben Rhodes.
We haven't talked about him very much. The 18 truck kind of been out there outside the top 10, kind of slowly worked his way up, obviously made some great adjustments. But Corey Heim trying to make up for that stop. He said he made that mistake. His foot slipped off the pedal. Up to 3rd for Corey Heim. Raja Caruth settles back in 4th, and Tyler Ankrum, the 18, right there.
Right behind Ben Rhodes, as we talked earlier, Tanner Gray with great repairs to that truck that had pretty significant damage. You see him right there, the black and white truck in front of Grant Enfinger.
Jeremy Donnelly, the crew chief on the 15. Well done by him, making a plan, being able to fix that truck, getting it in order to pick up as many points as possible and salvage their night. They're doing just that. Heck, they may even take home a top 5 when this is all said and done.
Yeah, I thought when we saw that damage that was going to be really tough. His position of where he was above the cut line, but man, oh man, what a nice job these guys have done.
And you see the 2024 playoff board right there. Tanner Gray 21 above, Daniel Dye 21 below, and how that could change if Daniel Dye gets that win, Amanda.
Yeah, Jamie, I'm sure that's exactly what they're thinking of. I was talking to Tanner ahead of the race, and he was thinking about the playoffs and how he feels. He said, I don't feel good one bit, but if it gets towards the end of this race and I have to make more risky decisions, I have to be in a position to do that. But it'll be racing smart in my mind all day long. But what it's been, the race here for Tanner has been bouncing back from tragedy, looking for triumph as they finish it off.
No doubt. 28 laps to go here from Nashville Superspeedway. Daniel Dye, that is the view ahead, about a second and a third behind Christian Eckes. Stay with us to the end. Who will take home the trophy? Welcome back to the Rackley Roofing 200 live from Nashville Superspeedway. 22 laps to go, and it's all about Christian Eckes. He's led them all. Clean view, clean track ahead. Got about a 2.2 second lead over Daniel Dye. Raja Caruth behind him, and Corey Heim. Nice battle for third going on there, and the 15 and the 9. That's a battle for seventh. Tanner Gray's not finished yet with that beat up race truck. Still looking to pick up a spot or two.
Nice move by Brent Enfinger to grab that spot. May bring the 13 of Jake Garcia with him. And remember, that truck of Tanner Gray is wounded. They've done a great job making repairs where he can be somewhat competitive, but that truck is not going to be as aerodynamic as these other trucks that he's racing around. Just lost another spot.
As Christian Eckes crosses the finish line, we've reached our Craftsman. 20 to go. Good reminder that this is the third and final triple truck challenge from Craftsman. If it stays as they run, Christian Eckes would pick up his first $50,000 as Sanchez did it at Charlotte. Corey Heim picked it up at Gateway.
Yeah, Corey has lost the third spot back to Raja. You can see the battle right here. Raja chased him back down, got by him. So it doesn't look like Corey Heim right now has the truck to contend for the win. He finds himself about 3.5 seconds behind our leader, Christian Eckes. But as we know, a caution flag could change all of that.
See Tyler Ankrum, the 18 up there in the 5th spot. Been about 8 races since his last top 5. So really clicking tonight. It took a little bit of time. Now that he's in the picture, obviously they've got that truck right.
Yeah, Ankrum was so good in his first 6 races of the year. He only had 1 finish, worse than 11th. But then he ran into a string of bad luck. Great battle here. There's Majeski going around Connor Jones, his teammate in the 66. He's following that 52 of Friesen, headed back towards the top 10. Right now, Matt Crafton, that yellow number 88 truck, has it, 10th place.
Yeah, Ty Majeski in the 98, Phil, we were talking about it in break, and he had such a great qualifying effort, 2nd row, but they had that bad pit stop, and they just weren't able to rebound as quickly as Stuart Friesen did.
Yeah, he was able to get back to the 10th spot at the end of this 2nd stage, but then really had struggled again on pit road as we see him make his way around the outside of the 15 of Tanner Gray. Move Majeski up to the 12th position. Friesen able to get by Matt Crafton. That puts Friesen up to the 10th spot. Remember, he was well up inside the top 10. Came down pit road on that last caution flag with a loose wheel. Now has fought his way back up into the top 10.
Matt Crafton just falls out of the top 10. It's Ty Majeski, his teammate, gets around him for 11th. Meanwhile, up front, Christian Eckes just continues to do his thing. Has led them all. He has 16 more. Can he hang on and bring home his 3rd win? Stay with us. .11 laps to go from Nashville Superspeedway as Christian Eckes continues to lead. Matt Crafton was continuing to drop backwards. We just saw him come down pit road, so some kind of issue with the 88 truck.
Yeah, that moves him right now. He's being shown in the 23rd position. We talked at the top of the show about the fact he's never missed the playoffs in his career, and we said, well, he's in a must-win now without a doubt. he's in a must-win here in the remaining 3 races. But what a tough break! And oh, Lane Riggs sideways up against, nearly against the outside wall in turn number 4.
Remember, Lane Riggs 2 laps down after that penalty for reckless driving. The 88 back to 23rd. Here's on board with Clint Boyer. Little tap.
A little bit of a nudge by Clint. Clint's truck obviously has not been near as good after that restart incident where the front end was completely bashed in on that.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Truck. It has been fun having him back, and I hope it's not a one and done. I hope he does it again.
And right now, this is the only scheduled one, so we'll see if Brian Patty wants to have him back. Spire Motorsports wants him back, but he's always so fun. And you know, I know he was nervous inside, really nervous, because he's a competitor. He's here to win, and lots changed in 8 years since he's been in a truck. Well, we talked about Matt Crafton and his issues, Amanda. What were they saying?
Jamie, before he made it down to pit road, he was trying to assess what might be happening to his truck as he saw him just losing positions. It's such a shame because he was flirting around a top 10 earlier in the night, but as he's made his way down to pit road, told the team, hey, something is dragging here. I'm either losing a wheel or something is under this truck. After the pit stop, the team did tell him that the left rear was loose on his 88.
Good for him to come down, get that taken care of, but that's not going to help his point situation. 23rd for Matt Crafton right now.
Yeah, unless he can parlay a win in one of these last 3 races of the regular season, it's going to be a heck of a streak that will come to an end of him making the playoffs.
Well, I'm just looking at our top 3 right now. Raja Caruth running 3rd, that's 71. It's been 6 races since he's finished in the top 10. It's been a tough struggle, tough road for him lately. So nice shot in the arm for Raja Caruth if he can hang on to this, that Spire Motorsports team.
But how impressed are you with this guy right here, Jamie?
Daniel Dye.
What a great
Never
job he's
finished
done.
top 5. This is his 2nd full-time season, and I mean, he's been there all night.
We've talked all year about this was a coming out year for him, and I tell you, this is a coming out race for Daniel Dye. He's been solid this entire race, racing around some really good trucks. Grabbed the 2nd spot now, has about a half a second over Raja Caruth right now, who's running in the 3rd spot. What a day for Daniel Dye, though.
Qualified 9th, been running top 10 all day in the 2nd half of this race, top 5. McAnally Hilgeman Racing is the team. His teammate back in 5th, Tyler Ankrum.
There's 2nd, 3rd, and 4th right there. Corey Heim trying to figure out a way to get by Raja Caruth. Raja moving way up the racetrack. Corey's going to be able to get that nose up beside the left rear quarter panel just for a moment, but the momentum from the outside is going to carry Raja back around Corey.
Those McAnally trucks have been strong, because by the way, Christian Eckes, yeah, he's led every single lap, showing just the strength, flexing that muscle. Almost a 3-second lead over Daniel Dye. But this battle right here continues. They're not done. About 3.5 laps to go. Corey Heim to the inside of Raja Caruth.
And while they're battling so hard, that's Daniel Dye right in front of them. Daniel's not able to shake these two. I like their line. Raja's trying to find some more grip up there and doing a nice job running that extremely high line, holding Corey Heim behind him.
Great 3-way battle here for 2nd.
Christian Eckes right now, 2 laps to go. He's saying, please stay off each other. Don't bring out another caution flag.
The tightest battles for 3rd. Christian Eckes and Corey Heim. Ankrum, Grant Enfinger back in 6th. Ben Rhodes 7th. Matt Mills with a really solid night in 8th. Corey Heim to the inside, wants to take that 3rd spot away from Raja Caruth, and he does it. 19 of Christian Eckes. We'll see the white flag next time by. There it is, 1 lap to go for Christian Eckes, who's hoping to hang on and say he led every single lap. Won stage 1, stage 2. Had a smile on his face earlier, knew we had something great with this race truck. What a streak he has been on. This 19 team Charles Denike, the crew chief, doing everything right at Nashville. Checker flag is in the air. Christian Eckes gets it done for the third time of 2024. Charles Denike with a smile on his face. Now that's one for the record books.
Sheer domination.
Been since 2016.
Great job. Man, what a vehicle here. That was awesome. Did we lead every lap? I think we led every damn lap.
Yes, you did.
And I was just going to say, it's been since 2016, the last time somebody led every lap of a race. 2012, it was even longer ago. So what a feat for this team. Pit crew got the job done. It wasn't an easy one. 7 cautions for 42 laps. Par for the course at this racetrack. 14th different driver to win at Nashville in the 17th race. Eighth different track he has won at. Fireworks go off in the Music City. He's now won both concrete races of the season. Great points night. It's a great night for this team. See the 2 win stickers on the driver's side door right next to his name. Hear a lot of talk about those stickers. And oh, by the way, not only does he add to that collection, he adds to his bank account as well, picking up $50,000 for the CRAFTSMAN Triple Truck Challenge, the third and final win. Crowd goes wild. I think they like what they're seeing. Michael is with our winner.
Holy cow. Domination. Led every lap, Christian. How did you do that?
It's just a badass truck, man. Man, I can't say enough about these guys. We felt like we should have won last time out at Gateway, and came up a little bit short, finished second, and we were really motivated to get this truck better. It's moving backwards. Yeah, it's fine. It's done its job for the day. But just, man, what an adaptive one Chevy. Just can't thank everybody enough. Chevrolet, Napa, Gates. That was an ass kick in the day. I love it.
It was every bit of that. And what are you going to do with that 50 grand you just won from the CRAFTSMAN Triple Truck Challenge? Try to say that 3 times real fast.
That's a good question, but more excited about the win right now.
You got another sticker.
I know. I saw the 11 have 4 on it. I kind of got a little upset when I walked in, so now we got another one to go catch.
Appreciate you, buddy. Had an awesome run, everybody.
Christian Eckes gets $50,000 extra dollars, an extra sticker, and he's about to pick up one of the coolest trophies in the series. Plenty more still to come from Nashville. Christian Eckes gets it done.